What's a sign that someone is actually struggling, that any people miss? They don't have the same excitement about things they used to really enjoy. Thoughtlessness. When I was in a deep depression and a few other smaller episodes, I am under such a black cloud and demented headspace that I'll forget birthdays, plans, leaving things out, things like that. Hygiene is a huge one, noticing they only ever have their hair up or rumpled clothing if they normally wear makeup and suddenly stop for no reason. People normally notice when it gets to not showering, but it can be in small ways. Needing constant distractions, not wanting to go to dinners but going to the movies is fine. If the friend, family member, co-worker that keeps ties with everyone and checks up on everyone consistently just stops or starts doing it less. People usually assume this person is always doing great, as they are often the cheerful one and the one other come to when they're down. Problem is, when it comes time for them to deal with things, they don't want to inconvenience anyone, so they keep quiet. Then, when they start not reaching out as often or stop, it results in them worrying that no one cares or that they're just forgotten about, putting them further into a dark place. A simple check-in on someone you haven't heard from in a while goes way further and can be more impactful. Thank you, think. It's weird. I had a friend simply post, "Anyone know anything about handguns?" looking to get one for self-protection. He lived in a metro, so no flags went off. He shot himself in the heart. I had another friend who was the kindest, funniest, most happy-go-lucky person you could imagine. He would reach out to you when things felt off about your post and provide you access to support. He couldn't defeat his own darkness, though, and took his own life. Giving things away, especially important and meaningful pieces, stock answers on how they are doing. You haven't heard from them in 6 months, but your ego says that you shouldn't contact them because they didn't contact you. In a social encounter where all others are sharing their troubles, they stay silent and distant. They never mention anything wrong, and when asked directly, they play their answers into a corner. Sure, it may just be them doing 0K, but it also could be not seeing their problems as worth the attention of others, a common depression situation. Someone who is always stressed out, on edge, and irritable is suddenly calm, nonchalant, and doesn't care about crap anymore. Check on this person. Maybe they got a girlfriend, boyfriend, or a big promotion, or finished a huge project. But also, maybe they've given up and have an exit plan in place now. Everything takes forever. I take hours to reply to texts, hours to get out of bed, hours to go to the store. When they don't interact correctly using idle chit-chat. What I mean is that if you ask, "How you doing?" "How was your weekend?" etc., would have at worst a stock answer. If they pause to think about it, they're likely not okay, regardless of their eventual answer. During my worst depressive relapses, I would constantly ask how people were doing. If someone you know is constantly asking everyone how they're doing, if they're okay with little to no reason to why they ask, please ask it back. I was on the verge of suicide many times in the past, and all I could ever do was reach out, ask if someone was okay, and that I loved them. I was never asked it back. It's a miracle that I'm still here. Joking about their problems, making them seem insignificant or relatively unimportant. It's a form of a coping mechanism for a lot of people. Sudden change in that person's typical behavior, either erratic or subtle, zones out most of the time. My main giveaway is that sudden drop in emotions while being out with others. Common disassociation, just seeing someone disconnect from reality, white sitting at a bench or in a friend group, just breaks my heart. Messy, dirty house. Not all people with messy houses are mentally ill, but if the state of a friend's house is continuously deteriorating and/or simple tasks, like throwing away cans, are left undone, it's a big sign. Sometimes someone who is struggling will clean the fridge and wash clothes but be unable to throw away mail or pick up trash. It's hard to explain. They stop doing things they once enjoyed and don't show any excitement when you mention it. The funniest dude in the room wants to kill himself. I will now strive to be the second funniest dude in the room. Smiling even when talking about things going extremely strenuous in their lives, joking constantly, from my own personal experience. This gives off the impression that they are happy, but also keeps the other person at a distance from asking deeper questions regarding the struggling person.